I read this post online and it goes like this. Let's say you kept earning $2,000 an hour and worked full time from the birth of Jesus Christ till today. And let's say you never paid taxes and saved every penny. You would be worth $8.3 billion. It may seem much, but you would still be financially closer to me than be closer to Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos is currently worth $196 billion, making him the richest man on earth. So he's very rich, right? Very rich. Why is he acting like a fucking beggar? Jeff Bezos targets and threatens his workers if they are suspected of trying to form a labor union. The purpose of this video is for us to understand that what Amazon does when it becomes a monopoly. Jeff Bezos makes his employees work 10 hours a day, just makes them stand in one place, working like robots making rates. For those who don't know what rates are basically a productivity calculated and returned as a number.
A computer tracks how fast you work. It's called making rate. Want to stretch or take a few sips of water? That's going to eat up precious time. Need to get on a stepladder to reach a product? That's also going to cost you. You get a warning. You're not making rate.
If you don't have adequate rate, you must meet the HR. You do it again and you are fired. Taking a piss can lower your rate, taking a shit can lower your rate. If you're diabetic and you need to check your blood sugar every time, you are not making rate. You could be fired. Workers also complained of constant quotas and being treated like machines. You work in a warehouse that is 15 football fields long. Some employees have to walk miles inside the warehouse just to take a piss. During lunch breaks, there is no time to warm food, or for toilet, or for relaxation, as you're busy walking miles in a warehouse. This causes adverse effects on the workers' health.
As Jennifer gets ready for a 10-hour shift at Amazon, she worries about the toll it will take on her body.
I hope my legs don't start hurting. So that's really what's going through my mind.
Jennifer says the physical requirements of the job are grueling and unsustainable.
If I had the ability to destroy small retail shops and ruin the lives of my employees, I would be a rich shithead too. Speaking of shitheads, Amazon issued a notice that driver associates cannot and must not return bags to station with poop inside. You heard that right. Amazon employees are defecating in bags and pissing in bottles because they have to make rate, or else they'll lose their job. This brought a lot of criticism to Amazon, from Senator Sanders to Congresswoman Cortez, and even more, called out Amazon for providing bad working conditions to its workers. Memes and publications started ridiculing Bezos. This encouraged workers to come together and protest against the working conditions and exploitation that they face. There have been great attempts to form a labor union. Now, labor unions are very important for the welfare of the worker. It gives workers a voice and creates a negotiating power that counters big shot billionaires. And this is the point where Amazon became the greatest scum of this universe. They started putting signs on toilets saying vote no against unions. It paid an entire city to come out and recalibrate the red lights so people can be stopped from joining unions. Stopping workers from working to ram information about why they shouldn't have a union. Spreading misinformation. Illegally firing employees that were critical of the working conditions. Launching anti-union websites. Creating fake accounts on Twitter of fake employees supporting Amazon. There's a company owned by Amazon called Whole Foods that was tracking its employees with a heat map tool to rank which stores were at the most risk of unionizing. So basically spying on its employees. Jeff Bezos made $11.5 million every day of the pandemic. Here's a question. How much did he share during the pandemic? Well, none. And that's okay. He's not living in a communist state where people will come and take money from him or where he's entitled to pay people. Here's another question. What's the difference between Amazon and a call center employee in Dharavi? The call center employee pays more tax than a giant ass corporate. Amazon is cocky because it's a monopoly in America with more than 50% of the market share in its field. But in India, Flipkart, owned by Walmart, owns the number one spot with 31.9%, followed by Amazon with 31.2%. Of course, Flipkart is not a monopoly and it will lose its title soon as Amazon grows more in India. Question is, how will Amazon treat its workers when it monopolizes itself in the Indian market? Indians already work the hardest and earn the least. Labor is cheap in India, very cheap. Imagine going through all of this and getting paid in fractions of what Americans are paid, as it destroys the retail market with its convenience and discount offers. E-commerce is inevitable. That's why we need competitors to make tough competition in the market and emphasize on employee welfare. The pandemic has made the poor insecure and vulnerable. They become an easy target of giants like these.